So we'll come check this out. My original plan for the video was going to be that I would have already done the High Priest Alcar one as well, but since we didn't get any, so it's annoying that that's like the one defend quest that doesn't involve destroyers, because if it did, we probably just could have picked up a destroyer core there, but never mind. So yeah, we'll come on out. Yeah, what was I talking about? Oh yeah, about Guild Wars 2 Guru and stuff. Yeah, the one bit of notable news, at least, that's come out recently is they've done their kind of official. Obviously, Arenanet's owned by NCSoft, which is primarily an Eastern company. So a lot of their MMOs are primarily geared to people in the East, which is why a lot of people sort of originally, before they realised it was going to be quite a good game, or at least we hope it will be, a lot of people were kind of raising their eyebrows at Guild Wars 2, particularly after the fallout of Ion when that came out, and it was just westernized terribly. Still, there are a lot of people that see the NCSoft label on Guild Wars 2 and they kind of freak out and they think, oh no, it's going to suck. But in any case, obviously Arenanet they're an American company, and Guild Wars 2 is primarily a Western game. It's not an Eastern game. And the truth is that they've only just really done like an official announcement in the East, and I'm sure that if Arenanet weren't published by NCSoft, that probably never would have happened. But what it does mean is that I think it's called Gstar, the convention it's at, or something. I don't know. It's literally G and then an asterisk. But anyway, some stuff's coming out to do with that. Again, it's another opportunity to look at the demo and a few little things that Arenanet have upgraded with the game and changed. And you know how people always talk about how like Koreans and they love sort of all the women look super slutty and look like dolls and stuff, and all sound like little girls and all this kind of stuff. It's hilarious because Guild Wars 2, basically for the demo there, all of like the starting human armor is immediately like some of the higher level armor for people in the original game, and you look at it and they all look massively slutty, and a lot of things have changed. A lot of people are out there and saying, oh, it's amazing. You know, I'm not specifically coming out and saying, oh no, this sucks, I hate it. But it is very interesting to see how the release over there there have been various changes, and I wonder whether, I think it must be quite insulting to just assume that these people are that superficial, but I don't know whether it is really something that's really important in those markets. But in any case, you can see the differences, and supposedly Eric Flannan was saying in the blog posts, not the blog post, in a few forum posts, he was saying that a bunch of blog posts this week were going to be going up about that, which is really kind of interesting to me, because I wonder how you can have a whole week's worth of blog posts, or 2 or 3, even more than one, on just the differences between this demo and the others. Maybe he'll be talking about how these are permanent changes for the game, or how different it's going to be there. Maybe it will require a sub fee there or something. I don't know. It's quite interesting to think about at the very least. So in any case, I was quite glad to have an opportunity to go sort of back and have a look at the news that's going on in the forums and stuff. There was some other actual more substantial news very recently this week, where I think it was John Peters. I can't quite remember. Basically, they talked about some of the things that they've been changing since the conventions. A lot of news has died down since then, and nobody really knew what was going on. The most interesting thing for me was cross-profession combos. It's this concept of all professions can sort of combine their skills together to create unique effects and awesome things. It was described when Guild Wars 2 first started talking about all of its features and stuff. It was initially described as this amazing thing, and we were all super hyped about it, and it was one of the things that I was most interested in about the combat. Obviously, they've made a lot of changes to the combat, but that was one of the big ones to me. And then it just kind of died away, and we didn't really hear very much about that aspect of the combat system at all. And I was pretty pessimistic about it, and I was just like, oh, well, you know what? They bit off more than they could chew. It's obviously not going to happen. It's fine. And I just sort of came to terms with it. And I've done that with so many features of Guild Wars 2 over the time's gone along, like with energy and how backward-ass that whole system was with their old energy system and potions and all kinds of little things. And this was one of them, and I just kind of assumed, right, well, you can't have everything. These just kind of, it's all going to be the really crappy shooting arrows through firewalls, and it won't get much more extensive than that. But recently they kind of turned around, and they keep doing this with everything I've been pessimistic about. They turned around in this blog post. One of the things they mentioned that's been revamped is they've had a serious look at the cross-profession combos, and there's all these new things that you can now do in it. It's like I think the specific example was something like an elementalist could lay down like a dust storm or something, or a dust trap. A ranger could lay down a dust trap, and if a warrior came and stomped in the trap, it would like cloak all of his allies that were near it, and all kinds of really interesting bizarre combos that really sound a lot like what I was initially imagining. It was just really, really fantastic to hear about that. One of the big things everybody's been bitching about for ages are ranger pets and how the ranger pets kind of suck and blah blah blah. Well, those have kind of came and had a bit of a revamp. They sound much easier to swap through. They didn't really talk in the blog about the AI having been improved very much. Which to me was a massive problem, because everything that people were bitching about with the pets was they were essentially saying pets in Guild Wars 2 are bad. Okay, you've got a couple of mechanics in there that make it feel like the ranger really relies on this pet. Like, for instance, if a ranger gets down, the pet can the ranger can use a skill called like lick wounds, which is a down skill, and if the pet's alive, it can lick the ranger and revive him, which is really cool. And it encourages sort of put this into a PvP scenario. It encourages players to focus on other rangers' pets instead of just ignore them, like what happens in every single MMO that currently exists, including Guild Wars 1. Okay, if anything, in Guild Wars 1 you had stuff like Iway where it just encouraged you to ignore them even more. So, you know, people were like, okay, this is cool, but you need to step it up, Arenanet. And look, the pets are useless. The AI is too bad. They're getting stuck on stuff. They're either dead constantly or they're just walking around and not doing anything. You need to fix the pets. And now they've come out with this blog post, which, don't get me wrong, I'm very positive and I like everything they've done with it, but they've said, oh, yeah, we've been working on pets, but they never mentioned, oh, pet AI has been fixed. They were just like, oh, yeah, rangers have a bit more control over what pets are out at any one time. If your pet dies now, for instance, you can immediately swap to one of your other pets, because you can now have 4 pets for a ranger instead of 3, which is pretty cool. 2 of them will be aquatic pets, 2 of them will be terrestrial, or all 4 of them can be amphibious if you want, or any combination thereof, which is quite interesting. But yeah, they just didn't talk about the AI, which was like the big bit for me, which kind of confused me a little. There was something else in that. There was like 3 big bits of news. Those were the 2 bits that stood out for me, though, really. I think the other one was maybe a bit less significant, or just something that I didn't really care about that much. But yeah, so there you go. I know I just went off on like this huge long talk about it. A lot of people talk about, ask me on the channel, hey, when are you going to do like Guild Wars 2 content, proper vlogs? And there are a lot of channels out there right now, and I'd be lying if I said I wasn't a little bit jealous of them, because they can put out like there's one person I saw recently, and she has like, I don't know, like 10 videos out or something, and it's got thousands and thousands of views and hundreds of subscribers already. And I don't know, I like what I'm doing already. You know, I can talk about the stuff that I like with Guild Wars 2 news in the Let's Play, and I think I'll probably try and do that a little bit more than I have been doing in the Let's Play, because let's face it, this is what most of us are interested in. I doubt a single one of you watching this right now doesn't care about the sequel. If you don't, please tell me, and I'd love to know what you think about the sequel, but I think that's mostly what we're here for, so I will try and talk about it more, but I'm not going to do like videos specifically for Guild Wars 2 stuff when, you know, it's not really out yet. When it's out, I'll do stuff, but right now there's more than enough people doing that kind of thing. So that's really my thoughts on that. And yeah, what have I been doing for the past, Jesus, I've been talking for ages, 23 minutes. I wonder if we can split this video in 2. That's the other thing, actually, because the end of Eye of the North's coming up, actually, where I'm going to be sort of playing with all 3 characters again. That means I'm actually going to need to get some help from my brother again with filming the later videos. And as we all know, Skyrim's out on like Thursday, and he's going to be playing the crap out of it. So there might be like one day, like tomorrow maybe, if I can't split this in 2, which I might, just so that we have a video on every day, where there isn't a video while we just kind of film that and get that all up and rolling. I hope that's okay with you guys, because it takes a little bit more preparation to start doing those. Because, I mean, after this video, literally, we're going to be doing, back to the main storyline, we're going to be doing a quest called the Heart of the Shiver Peaks, which will open with the final vision next video. And hopefully I'll show you Peter as well then, which would be cool. And Tom. They are, all their armor is so amazing. I can't wait to show you. Do you? I mean, I really like this armor. It's pretty awesome. Whew. Alright, wow, okay, cool. So this is the last group here in the camp. You'll notice actually I skipped a group over there. You can skip them, don't be too scared, they don't patrol, just make sure you get... I mean, I'm not even playing with a compass and I managed to skip them quite easily, just watch out. I think... Oh, do you actually have to kill every single group? I thought there was just like a boss we had to kill up here. No, we are just taking revenge. No, you can skip it, see. Alright, cool, so there you go. We've avenged Ural. I do wonder why Dwayne took Ural there. I mean, I know he said that he'd been, like, studying Ural. Or was that, Orizar that said that he'd been, Sorry, worshipping Dwayne, I mean. Or was that Orazar that said he was worshipping Dwayne now? Can't quite remember. Alright, before we go out, though, I'm going to quickly head to my storage chest, grab a destroyer core or two, and meet you guys back at the battle dev. So I'll see you guys in a sec. Whew. Boy, is that walk annoying. It's not like you have to come here too often. I'll give you that, but it is an annoying walk. Okay, hi Orazar, what's going on, man? We've avenged Ural.
What news of
I'm
the
glad
war?
that they're dead, but it won't bring my brother back. I'll remain here in King Jarlath's service. Ural would have wanted it that way. See, that's kind of a cool story actually, because it's a guy that was, you know, Ural, he was a bad guy really for a while, a bit misguided, and then he stood by his brother and he didn't betray him, and you know, and then he went out as a hero. It wasn't like he died normally though. It's like Dwayne deliberately came and got him. Very curious. I wonder if that's, I've never really thought of that before, but I wonder if that's going to have any kind of repercussions in Guild Wars 2. Very interesting. Alright, so here's High Priest Alcar. We've got your cause, man. How's it going? I love this guy's model. It's so cool. If there was ever a dwarven wizard look, that was it. Excellent. You'll have to excuse me. I must get to work on these right way. Here, take this. So here you go. This is Breath of the Great Dwarf. It heals everybody. Very handy in in a couple of missions down the line. And you got this one as well, which the holy damage is a bit crap. I've seen a couple of things like farms and stuff that make use of it, but so you don't really use it that much. But there's also pings hidden objects within the area of the compass, and you can use it to find hidden chests and stuff around the game. When Eye of the North first came out, actually, they talked about, like in the original releases of it, they were talking about how the skills, and it's something they talked about for Guild Wars 2 as well initially, how skills there were going to be less skills for Eye of the North, but they were all going to have multiple uses and stuff, and how this was the way that they were going. All skills would have different uses in different situations, and the only example they ever gave of this actually in action was the Light of Deljamor, which would reveal hidden things on the compass as well as have a combat usage. And the combat usage ended up absolutely shockingly bad, and it was the only skill that ended up actually adhering to that rule. It's hilarious. They kind of dropped it completely, and this was the only skill that ended up. And then when Guild Wars 2 came out, they turned around and they were like, oh yeah, skills will have different uses in different situations. Particularly, they were talking about that in reference to sort of being able to jump and throw people around and do different skills and different sort of whether you were going through the air and stuff. And once again, it was pretty much dropped completely. Though what I was just talking about with the cross-profession combos kind of fits in there, because now if you use a specific skill when you're in like a fire chain or whatever, it will do something different. But it's just quite funny to think of that. That's always made me smile, that was the only skill that ever ended up like that, unless I'm missing one, but I don't think I am. Alright, anyway, here we go. So, last quest, as far as I remember, comes. See the fruits of my labour. I've developed a concoction that should be of value when used against the destroyers. Unfortunately, its effectiveness is in theory only, as I've not tested it against the real thing. I need you to do something for me. Whilst in the presence of a destroyer, throw this vial to shatter the glass. When the air hits the liquid, it will create a gas, which should corrode the destroyer's hide and cause it significant pain. You know, give them a taste of their own medicine. It should work, but if it doesn't, I'll use your pay to finance a nice funeral service instead. How does that sound? Alright, I'll take the destroyer challenge. Alright, let's do it. 4 out of 5 adventurers agree this test is dangerous to their health. Right, okay, and you actually get a skill which basically lets you use this all the time, called Alcar's Alchemical Acid. It's very, very simple quest, just like the previous one. The most annoying thing is that you have to come back to this damn area. If you wait a while before doing these, you can have very easy access through that door over there, but I'll talk more about that later. Where's a quick, nice, easy way to kill destroyers? It's going to have to be Golem, the Golem mission, isn't it? Or is there another one that's even easier? I don't think there is. Let's do Golem. So yeah, I will load in. I won't bother with showing you guys the cutscene and everything. I'll just see you in a second. Alright, here we go. I'm just crossing over the bridge here. You can see you don't actually have to wait for the destroyers to come. You can just run straight over here. And what you want to do for the quest, it's a cool quest. It's a simple quest, but it's a cool quest, and I prefer it if they're simple and cool than just long and really annoying. You can just come over near them and double-click this thing in your inventory, and you'll do 100 damage to whatever was near it. Wow, they did a lot of damage to me there. Quest updated, and as you can see, the destroyer challenge, there you go. That's the quest complete. It's pretty mad, isn't it, actually, how simple that is. Now, to actually get into Golem here, I just had to sort of accept the reward to the end of the Tarnished Coast quest chain, which I deliberately not done because I didn't want the third act primary quests to kick in too soon, if that makes sense. So when we go back to the Battle Depths, it might have triggered the next part of the plot, which I'm hoping it hasn't, but I'll see you guys in a second, fingers crossed. Oh, alright, here we go. So here's High Priest Alcar, and he says...
Need me?
Yes, I do need you. Fantastic. Did you blindfold the destroyers before dousing them with my secret formula? Ah, never mind. Now that we know it worked, I'll give you this concentrated version I just finished. Don't forget to equip yourself before hunting destroyers. Have fun. Sweet. So he gives you this cool item, this cool skill here. It's weird, isn't it? Because you could say, oh, hey, look, this is an item. It's interesting because skills were all like originally supposed to be, you know, they were supposed to be rings on your fingers, which is why you have signet skills and stuff with the very initial Guild Wars beta skill system. And now they're just kind of a weird mishmash or magic spells, methods of attacking people with a weapon, or even throwing items in this case. Is kind of cool, isn't it? So there you go. We're not going to use it though. That's actually a fair few of the dwarven skills we've probably got now, right? Yeah, look at all these. Jesus. In fact, that's all of them, isn't it? I think that might be all of the dwarf skills. In any case, there you go, guys. That's those quests complete. Next video, we'll open up with seeing the last vision, and then we will commence to go into the heart of the Shiver Peaks, which we might even start here, to be honest, because we're coming straight back here and going through that big-ass doorway over there. So it's a brilliant mission, by the way. Really, really cool boss at the end of it. You know, there's not enough good bosses in Guild Wars, and this is particularly one of my favourites. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I will see you tomorrow. Take care, everybody, and have a good night. Okay, Corey, get right in the way of the shot. Nice one. Dumbass.